Question number 2, Kezia Dugdale.
To ask the First Minister when she will next meet HIV Scotland.
First Minister.
As an organisation almost fully funded by the Scottish Government, officials of the Scottish Government have regular contact with HIV Scotland. Indeed, the Minister for Public Health and Sport last met with the Chief Executive of HIV Scotland on the 23rd of August.
Kezia Dugdale.
Presiding Officer, across Scotland this morning, tens of thousands of people stood on station platforms as they started their daily commute. As Minister for Transport in October 2014, Keith Brown said the new franchise agreement awarded to Abellio was a world-leading contract to deliver for rail staff and passengers. Not only that, but it was a contract that will benefit the whole of Scotland. Does the First Minister believe that those promises to passengers have been kept?
First Minister.
The contract was awarded because it was considered that it was the contract in the best interest of passengers across Scotland, but it is absolutely incumbent on Abellio as the holder of that contract to continue to make sure that they deliver services that meet the expectations of the travelling public. And the Scottish Government will continue to liaise on an ongoing basis with ScotRail to make sure that is the case. Indeed, I'm delighted that the recent dispute around driver-operated doors has been settled, and the public don't have the expectation of further industrial action episodes as a result of that.
Kezia Dugdale.
Presiding Officer, I doubt commuters on the morning train from Dundee to Edinburgh or North Berwick to Edinburgh or the nightly commute from Cumbernauld to Dalmuir would agree that Scotland has a world-leading contract, or indeed that the expectations of the public are being met. In the past few months, Scotland's rail passengers have faced cancellations, delays and overcrowding. New figures this week show that a third of all routes in Scotland have services that are late more often than they are on time. And at the same time, Abellio are raking it in £1 million a month of profit from that franchise. So does the First Minister agree that while Scotland's rail network might be working for the transport bosses, it's certainly not working for Scotland's commuters?
First Minister.
Kezia Dugdale is right to raise concerns of the travelling public, because the travelling public have a right to expect services that run on time and that they can rely on. And it's because the Scottish Government is so firm in that commitment that Kezia Dugdale, I assume, is aware that under the contract terms, the Scottish Government requested from ScotRail on the 26th of August an improvement plan, which was then received on the 16th of September. We are absolutely committed to working with ScotRail to deliver a quality service to passengers. That is our responsibility, and we are serious in making sure we discharge that responsibility.
Kezia Dugdale.
That's interesting, Presiding Officer, because I've got that improvement plan in front of me. In fact, it's a boast of a press release from Humza Yousaf this week. £3 million worth of extra investment to improve passenger comfort and accessibility on our railways. One of the things it says is that you're going to spend money on a passenger counting equipment so you can see how overcrowded the trains are. Can I suggest to the First Minister she just gets on one to appreciate how overcrowded the trains are? She needs to be honest about the experience faced by passengers, because here's the thing. Since 2011, the average weekly earnings of commuters rose by only 6%. But the Scottish Government's cap on rush hour rail fares increased by over 23%. So let me make that absolutely clear. That's a rise 4 times faster than earnings. Those who travel to train for their work every day are paying more for a shocking service. And Scottish commuters are fed up of the First Minister's excuses. This is her responsibility. What is she going to do to get things back on track?
First Minister.
I don't think anybody listening to this exchange will have heard me make any excuses. What I've said is our responsibility, working with ScotRail, to make sure that quality service is delivered. That is exactly why the Transport Minister has been taking the action that he has been taken, and it's why we continue to invest significant sums of money in the rail network to make sure that that responsibility is discharged. I do not quibble at all about Kezia Dugdale's right to come to this chamber to raise these concerns. I understand the concerns of the travelling public, but my job and the Transport Minister's job is to get on with fixing the problems, not just to cart from the sidelines.
Yeah.